Okay, perfect. Aloha, everyone. Welcome to Let's Get Juicy with Melissa Bradley and Christina Litman. I am Christina Litman, and it is my joy and my juiciness to be here with all of you.
Mhm.
And we have just been having such a divine conversation before this. And I just cannot wait. I mean, the beauty and the bounty of Melissa and I is we are so divine by Holy Spirit that we may start on one road and wind up somewhere else. So, welcome to the grand adventure. I know you are perfectly ordered to be here, and so we are so
Yes.
grateful. So, as we do at the beginning of every Let's Get Juicy Godcast, let us go into
Mhm.
prayer and close our outer eye. And
Mm.
let's just take a solid breath together, feeling the healing of God.
Mm.
Take another breath, feeling the healing of God through you as you now.
Mm.
Take another deep, divine breath, and just allowing it all to settle. How grateful I am to be here in this present moment. How grateful I am to know that the fruition and the fruit of God is divinely hanging from the deliciousness of every tree of life right here and now for each and every one of us to just pick from. It is
Mhm.
God's great goodness to give us everything, for it is all God.
Mm.
I'm so grateful to know this. I'm so grateful to be a beneficial presence on this planet. I'm so grateful for my beloved sister, Melissa. I know that we are divining the infinite right here and now in this Godcast, and that your holy presence, everyone who is here and listening, is all part of the alchemy and the transformation and the transmutation of what is happening here on this planet Earth as we are becoming more and never less, that we are guided and guarded, and just so deliciously, sweetfully embraced in the unconditional love of God. And so as we inhale more of life and we exhale all that no longer serves us, I
Ah.
recognize God,
Mhm.
source, creator, omniscient, omnipresent, omniactive, omniamorous, one. There is only one power and presence I call God. And God is a feeling. It is a frequency that we are diving into right now. So with each and every breath that we take, we become more and more and more aligned with this frequency that is always present, never in absence. It is our life. It is our breath. It is our very being. It has birthed each and every one of us into this moment right here and now. That is God. We are God right here and now.
Woo.
And so we are aligning with it through our breath. And so as we breathe in to the vastness of all that God wants, needs, and serves as our very life, we ground it in our exhale. We are rooted in the Holy Spirit.
Mm.
And the Kundalini rises,
Mm.
marvelously, magically through each and every one of us. We are allowing the channel to be open right here and now to receive all that God is through and as our very life. So I bless this Godcast. I
Mm.
bless Let's Get Juicy. It is an invitation to us all to get
Mm.
juicy, to allow our juiciness,
Mm.
to drink from the infinite wellspring of God and
Mm.
allow the divine to reign supreme through every cell of our being in perfect health, perfect divine abundance, divinely ordering this Godcast. What needs to be said is said, what needs to be heard is heard. And it is such a beautiful dance. For this and so much more, I give grateful thanks, allowing the law to take hold and manifest it in its perfection here and now. And so it is. Amen.
So it is, my juicy sister. Wow, let's just take a moment to like, breathe that into every
Woo!
cell. Yeah, into every organ. into
Mm,
every area and aspect of
mm,
our life, right?
yeah.
Like, I think the question, this begged, like the juiciness of you begged in me, this question of like, how juicy will we allow ourselves and our life to be? And I will share in simultaneity in the midst of what we were talking about. Like, I've been on social media here and there sharing, and of course the neighborhood's going to drill right now. I mean, the
I can't hear it.
intensity. I mean, the timing is so perfect because I was
Yeah.
going to say, I mean, the sound of a machine can be a little intense, right? And so I think there's a lot of people feeling intensity right now. I am going to shut the window. So I'll be right back coming through this rainbow.
Oh, it's beautiful. She disappeared. Look at like she appeared and disappeared through the
just
rainbow.
like just like that. So, and the intensities that we're feeling right now. And a friend of mine, I was sharing with her, what's going on as far as like supporting my mom with the move, the sale of her house of 54 years, clearing the house of all the things. My mom's been on a health journey, been supporting with her taxes and investments and managing many facets. Last week, her beloved cat, whom I was very attached to as well,
Mm.
decided in the midst of it all to make her transition. So I was holding space for the cat for 3 days because that's about what it takes once they stop eating and drinking. And so all that being shared in that, in the midst of these intensities, in what way may we allow ourselves to juice and to be juicy, right? Through it all. But a friend's like, I don't know how you're not completely overwhelmed.
Mm.
And I would say for the most part, it's been a lot. I don't know that I've ever juggled so many different facets of life all at once, especially on behalf of another,
Mm.
because I didn't have children. So, you know, but I feel like that intensity is the gift of that is like really allowing ourselves to juice the moment and to really tune into what's here for me in this moment. Because as you said in your beautiful transmission, God is in everyone and everything and every breath and every step and every experience and every moment. So with that being, to me, that's truth. And I know that's how you flow as well. It's like our breath. And as you so masterfully shared, it's really through, I've been breathing a lot deeper and a lot more consciously and presently. And it's amazing with the breath,
Oh,
where we can go and flow. So,
no,
yeah,
it's
I
so
know you've been experiencing intensities as well these days. So, yeah, and I'm
well,
sure
there's
everyone listening right now, I mean, hopefully you're
yeah.
having a good giggle with this because you're not alone.
Yeah, that I think that's really the intention of this Godcast for today, from Melissa and I, is to really let you all know that we are all in this together.
Mm,
And when we wake up, and sometimes we wake up and go back to sleep and wake up and go back to sleep. So it's not just a one size fits all. We're awake now. It's I am awakening as we are all awakening in the collective. And
yes.
when we wake up, we realize, right, the real I. Who is I?
Mm,
What is I? And I is the infinite spaciousness of unconditional love that
yeah.
I call God.
Yeah.
That is not an entity, is not a being. Um, However, it happens through our being. So we
Yeah.
can experience this I, this God. I don't know what I'm saying, but it's coming through. Um, we
Of
can
course.
experience the real I by being with that part of us that
Yeah.
is all of us, really. We're not these identities. And I think that's where I want to talk about how my identities, the masks that I wear, are getting caught, right? As I'm going through a divorce right now and all the iterations and the stuckness and the pain of the grief, right? It's real.
Yeah. It is.
I'm not spiritually bypassing that.
Nope,
But
you're not.
really what's coming through in my great grand witness awareness is that where I shut my real I off a
Mm,
long time ago in order to be loved by someone else. And I
mm.
don't know, I'm sure we can all identify with that. In order to
Oh, yeah.
get love, it became transactional. In order for us to get love as a child, we had to perform something to be the good girl or the good boy.
Oh, yeah.
And so we made this up. I mean, we took the narrative and we said, oh, then that means in order for me to get love, I must do this.
That's right.
And I don't really have a choice about that other than if I don't do that, then I won't get love.
Yeah.
And then I will be by myself. And I don't want to do that.
Yeah.
At the cost of what? And that's the question. What has it cost us? And I think that's what the intensity, my projection onto it right now is we're looking at the multifaceted identities that are fighting with one another
Yeah.
inside. It's all inside,
Yes.
right? Who's going to win this battle? And I
Yes.
love, I'll pause and I want to ask you about this.
Mm,
I love in biblical scriptures, there's so much battling. In the Bhagavad Gita, there's so much battling,
right.
the
Right.
warring symbolism. And I
Yeah.
know it's all metaphor for
Mm,
all those aspects of God or not God,
mm.
the battle between good and evil, right? All the themes of every movie. There's the
Yep.
hero's journey and there's the,
Always. You got
right?
to have the bad guy,
And
right?
then there's the bad guy. And I really think, and this is my thought about this, is
Mm,
that was a setup because I don't believe God set it up that way. I believe that the
no.
ego basically said, oh, we live in the world of light and dark. There will always be polarity and that we will always be fighting. There will always be heaven and hell. And I came here with something different in my soul that says, I think that's the way the ego has decided and said this is truth, but I want to believe, and there's a knowing I have about the infinite presence I call God.
Mm,
Outside of love, there's nothing outside of love.
that's right. That's right.
So we can go into this experience of we're always in transmutation, always.
Mm,
And we
mm.
can stop the collective, everything's really intense. We could say it is so beautiful that people are waking up. And
Yeah,
the only intensity is the resistance to love.
that's right. I love that.
What say you, sister?
Well, what say I is I love that, and a couple of things, or maybe more than a couple, but it was shared with me recently. The illusion is just simply people masquerading around as what they're not. I was like, that is a brilliant explanation of the illusion, right? So, and what percentage of the population I know that I've masqueraded around as something other than myself, like you said, through identity. Um, so yeah, there's
Tell me,
that
you
part
know
of
what?
it.
Tell me about that, Melissa. Like let's give some real juice here to everyone.
Yeah,
Like
well, I
what identity?
masqueraded. I masqueraded around. Um, I also feel like the invitation, rather than calling it intensity, is wow, everything's so inviting right now, right? Like
I
rather
love
than
that.
shifting it from, oh, everything's so intense, like we gotta like buckle
Bear
up and
down.
squeeze our bunghole and like, oh, like, like, oh, I'm preparing for a really big, what, like, oh, rather than that, opening up the field of our heart, of our infinite nature, and going, wow, everything's so inviting right now, juggling up so many different
Ooh,
parts.
you just created an embodiment right there. So
Mm,
would you take us through a mini exercise of bearing down and then opening up?
bearing down. Thank you. That's the
No, I
word.
mean like do it.
Yeah, yeah.
Guide us
Okay.
because I know that as we can hear it here, but when we grok it in our body temple, that's when
Mhm.
it becomes ours. So lead us, Almighty Sister, in the contraction.
Yeah, yeah. So this is the contraction and the resistance, like you were, naming and acknowledging of the intensity. Everything's so intense. So what is intensity? If you're in an intense moment, what does that feel like for you? And take yourself into that, because we want it to be authentic to you. I mean, I can start to squeeze up my
Yeah.
booty. The
Now let's do
squeeze,
it.
start there, and squeeze the legs, squeeze the tip of your toes, squeeze your abdomen, squeeze your chest, squeeze your shoulders, squeeze your arms, squeeze your fingers, squeeze your face, squeeze the top of your head, squeeze your ears, squeeze your eyes, just squeezing, squeezing. Hold your breath, just feel what that feels like. Pull
It's so
out
hard.
all the intensity of this world, just bring it all in, like so intense, so intense, so intense, and take a deep breath and let it all go. And through the opening of the arms, through the opening of the heart, and through maybe even the looking up into the sky, into the infinite, just the invitation. Like, wow, God, thank you for this beautiful invitation right now. I wonder, what are you inviting me into? I wonder what the invitation is. As you know, I've moved so much of my mom's stuff through this house of 54 years that has dust and memories. Like, what's the invitation in that? What's the invitation when my mom's had, health crises and challenges? What's the taking a deep breath, like what's the invitation when the precious kitty in front of us is about to take her last breath and we're, feeling all the feelings, what's the invitation when someone who you love and adore says, I want a divorce, like what's the invitation when you show up with another bare your heart and soul, I want to spend the rest of your life with you, and it's unrequited, right? Like what are all these invitations that we're receiving as a collective, and that
Mm,
we are in the midst of alchemizing together in
mm.
this moment of right here and right now? What is all this bringing us home to?
Ooh, I love that.
What is this all bringing us home to? And I'm just angel bumping
Wow, mic
free.
drop. What is
Yeah.
this bringing us home to?
Home
Can
to.
let's explore that. I want to put some words to that if you're willing.
Always. Well, we came here to juice, didn't we?
Oh, yes. What? Wow.
Yeah.
That's just so well said. Well said, God, you.
Yeah.
I love that. What are we coming home to?
Yeah.
What is being invited here?
Exactly. I mean, do you feel, everyone listening, like, do you feel the shift from everything so intense and how are you doing this to like, wow, everything is so inviting right now. Everything's so inviting me home.
Right,
You know,
right.
we of course we can talk about coming home to our heart and home to our soul, and that's really to me ultimately coming home, like you said, to unconditional love, to pure light, and to pure potential.
Hmm.
So that's to me the coming home. And it's also, as we pre-paved this exploration, that it's really a full embodied return to the infinite nature that we are.
Yeah, yeah.
And to the
What
liberation and to the freedom.
freedom? Yes, yes. And I want to bring into the field this idea that in the contraction of the identities contracting,
Yep.
I think really the invitation for me is
Yeah.
I am not those identities. I took them on in
That's right.
order to get love transactionally
Hmm.
from my parents, from my community. And I was a little person. So, of course, I thought that was the way we do things. And
Yep.
then we all thought that, honestly, like there isn't a
Oh,
person on the
yeah.
planet who isn't saying, I'll give you this if you give me that. I'll
That's
give you
right.
this if you give me that. And it, for me as a practitioner and a minister in training, it's so powerful to realize that my job here as a soul is to give it all away.
Yeah.
That is where the juice is really.
That's right.
Is you want the
Yep.
clothes off my back? Here you go. It is all God's. It does not belong to me
Hmm.
because there is no me.
Yeah.
There is no me here. And it's so cute that we think we're these beautiful me's, our ego just loves, look at me, look at this. And then as we take that identity adventure, then
The
when,
masquerade off, right?
yeah,
Like I
when,
said, like, the illusion is just simply people masquerading as what they're not,
right. And then
and
most of us don't really know what we are.
well, and herein lies the the invitation. Herein lies the invitation.
Yeah.
This is the invitation to come home, to remember, to explore within yourself. I mean, yes, we love to show up, we love to juice, and we love to share. And the invitation for each of us listening to this and being in this, we are a collective, we are circled up right now,
Yeah.
is to really tune in to our own heart and to our own soul and to be in discovery and remembrance from within. Because once you have claimed and located it within yourself, you are unstoppable and you are unshakable.
Yeah.
Like
Yeah.
you're no longer in the illusion. Now, I
Yeah.
haven't seen the movie The Matrix. I know so many people have. I've tried it just, maybe I'll get into it someday, but like you at that point you break the matrix and you're no longer
Yeah.
available, to participate,
Yeah.
in the transactions, in the matrix, in the created self, the self you created in order to survive, right?
Mm.
The self you created in order to defend yourself or to protect yourself or to prove yourself. Like I look at like how much of my life have I spent trying to prove, especially to men.
Yes.
Love and miss you, Dad. It started with my dad, of course, as it did for all of us. I'm
Yes.
not unique in that way. And, in particular, it was on the tennis court. I handed a racket from the time I was maybe 3 or 4 and being groomed to be a professional tennis player. And I wanted to do it right for my dad. I wanted to do
Mm.
it all for my dad.
Yeah.
I
Yeah.
wanted to earn that love. And then that's the through line of the storyline of how the, relationships with men have gone. It's been about me proving to them that I am enough, that I can do it right. And that ended up failing over and over again because I could never do enough and I could never get it quite right for them.
And I want to speak into mm, when we know our narrative
Yes.
and then we allow the narrative to kind of drip into the
Yes.
to drip into the heartbreak of that, to be brave enough to say, here's what happened according to me and what
Mhm.
I made up about it.
Exactly. That's the
Because
key. What I
I'm,
love that. That's so empowering. What I made up
yeah,
about it.
because I'm sure your dad had a different transfiguration of that story
Absolutely.
and probably would never have wanted you to take that on that way.
Of course.
And, but for whatever reason, the soul did.
Yep.
Okay, this is the journey I'm on to learn what's the opportunity. What is the opportunity of heartbreak?
Mm,
Because the heart, meaning in the heartbreaking open to
mm,
receive the gift of that experience that you gave yourself, of that identity, I have to perform in order to be loved. Okay, great. And then we play it over and over again in our
oh,
relationships
I did.
until we
Yeah.
wake up and say,
Yeah.
whoa, I don't want to do this anymore. I don't want to play this game this way anymore. What was the gift I was trying to give myself? So
Mm,
what is the gift of that story?
yeah. Yeah. So the gift of that story, and as we know, age is not the thing. And yet, it did take me until I was like almost 55.
Well,
And
you,
and I know I always say, better late than never, but even that's a funny thing to say because,
right?
there is really ultimately no
You're
time.
an infinite being.
I'm an
You live
infinite
forever.
being. You are an infinite being. We are
Yeah.
infinite beings in this collective. So, and that's just a story, and it's very
Yeah.
cute and adorable. And sometimes it's just fun to play with it. But for me, the invitation what is it bringing me home to? What did all that bring me home to?
Yeah.
Eventually, and it was an eventually, it brought me home to, oh my God, I am more than enough.
Yeah.
And with God, I am always doing it right.
That's right.
Always, 1,000,000,000 godzillion% of the time. I am always enough for God, and I am always doing it right. And so breathing that into my heart and allowing the
Mm.
alchemy, the sweet alchemy of the heart, of the love, of the honey, of the nectar, of the juices, of the mango juices in our heart,
Ooh,
right?
yes.
Like putting it in the blender and creating a beautiful mango lassi type, creamy,
Yeah.
delicious, like orgasmically blissful drink. Because when we drink ourselves in the enoughness, in the doing it right with
Mm.
God, and it can be a lot of different doing it rights. I mean, we can talk about, it all, including our sensual, sexual nature. We're
Yes.
always in right order with God. So that to me has been freedom and liberation. I mean,
Yeah. Yeah.
complete freedom and liberation. And as we pre-paved this conversation too, that creates safety and
Yes.
stability within our nervous system. So much so that
Mm.
if we do happen to, along the pathway, encounter another person that starts reflecting the transactions or the not enoughness or the not doing it right, we'll just have a sweet little giggle within ourselves
Mm.
or with them and go,
Yes.
thank you so much. That I
Yes.
do know who I am. I know
Yep.
what I am and I know why
Yep.
I'm here. And it's not that. So have fun
Yep.
with that. And
Yep.
yeah,
I'm not playing this character in this play anymore this
that's
way.
right. I retired.
I retired.
I got tired.
I got tired.
I was
Yes.
so fucking tired. I had to retire.
Oh my gosh. Oh my gosh. This has been such a juicy conversation. I love that we take off on the journey with a little sparkle of information and then it winds up
Always.
always impressing me for me, like, wow, I really needed to hear this.
Yeah.
What can I juice in the scenario that I'm in right now
I
in
was
the
just going to ask you.
in the intensity, right?
Yeah, what
Like,
are you coming home to, my love? What are you coming
I
home
am coming
to?
home to my playful nature that is just loves so much to be in the frequency of ease and grace.
Yeah.
Like, no big deal.
Yep.
And I really see where people take life really seriously because that's an identity they learned,
Yeah.
as we all have. Like, we need to be serious and we need to work 40 hours a week and to make everybody feel really comfortable. And I'm like, wait a second, that's not my rhythm or flow. That is not my recipe. God did not design me that way. God designed me as this, what would I be in,
In
just
God design.
waterfall. I'm
Mm.
going out
Oh,
to
yeah.
Hana and I am a
That you are.
waterfall, right? And sometimes I'm gushing and sometimes I'm trickling but it's just all mm, fragrant and it's all perfect and it is all
Mm.
unique, just like those snowflakes, right? And I'm not going to
Exactly.
do it your way so you feel comfortable anymore.
Yeah.
And it really isn't your fault, you being whoever I'm projecting on.
Right.
It's really, I'm taking my sovereignty back,
Yep.
realizing that I made that choice to give
Yep.
you all my power and then to blame you.
Yep.
And then therefore I'm the victim in this story and I can never get out of that loop.
Yeah.
And then it's like, why me? Why me? It's like, no, no, no. I'm very clear.
Mm.
God as me is creating this amazing life. So I'm coming home to a life of magic, of
Mm.
miracles, of grace, of fun, of play, of juiciness, of eros,
Mm.
of deliciousness, all the adjectives that describe the sensation of sensuality of
Mm.
enjoying being a body on this planet,
Oh, yum.
right? And
That you are.
for all of you that love that, You will be on my playground with me, absolutely. And all of you who have not loved that part of you, we probably may not meet along the journey until you get that. But I'm very, very clear at 50, almost 58 years old, that I am calling in my oneness
Mm,
into that
yeah.
sensual embrace of
Mm,
God. Like
that's
I'm looking at
beautiful.
your rainbows. I'm looking at the ocean behind me.
Yeah.
The visual, the ecstatic bliss of all of our senses, which brings us home to the fullness of God. It's little tiny speckle of the grandness of all that God is.
Yeah.
I mean, you know that when you see a rainbow appear from something, there's not even a cloud in the sky. Where did that rainbow come from?
Oh,
God.
absolutely. Which, yeah.
When
Yep.
there's sun showers and there's not a cloud in the sky here on Maui, we get them all the time.
Oh,
It's my
absolutely.
favorite. It just
Yeah.
starts raining from the infinite.
Yeah. Yeah.
You're like,
So
wow.
as we wrap up, the question is, again, it begs the question, like, are we open to receive the
Yeah.
showers, the waterfalls of the infinite?
Yes.
As the
Yes.
infinite beings that we are in human
Mm.
form, and loving, accepting, and embracing our humanity all along the way.
Yeah.
I mean, I love how playful you and I are. It's not, hey, I've had my Miller moments of like, oh my God, I wish I would have known all this when I was a teenager. But no, let that go. Be here now. Enjoy the juiciness of the now, of the consciousness, of the awareness, of the touching, the feel, and yeah, all of the, like you said, the sensations that we
Yeah.
have
No
access to.
withholds. You no longer have to suffer in order to receive.
Exactly.
That paradigm of like, I'm making a sacrifice for God, that sacrificial lamb being the metaphor of I must sacrifice something in order to get something from God. I must be good in order to go to heaven. I mean, it's in our DNA, it's in the
Mhm.
programming, and we are releasing that programming. It's being alchemized because that was never the truth.
Right.
The truth is there is nothing but God,
That's right.
and God is infinite.
Yeah,
Therefore, this is an infinite playground. You decide.
that's right. Yes. And that's what it always is. It's always about the choice point.
Yep.
What are you going to choose now? And on that note, I could juice that forever. So we will begin to wrap up here. And I'm so infinitely grateful for you, my juicy, sacred sister. It's always a joy to be with you in life and love and in
Mm,
these explorations and these conversations, and to each one of you listening here. So, if there's anything that you'd love to have Christina and I explore, we would love to hear from you. Any
yes.
comments, any shares. We really are truly all in this together, and you're
Yeah.
never alone. And so, thank you for being here today. And with that, anything else you'd like to add, my beautiful?
I love that. I love that. We are moving. The intention is to move the Let's Get Juicy into the field of collaboration. So I second what Melissa was saying is at the end of this video, you have our contact information. We both are available to sit with you in the presence, to align with you and your magnificence. It is our joy, it is our juice to be
Mm,
able to support and love you into the truth of who you are.
yes,
And wherever two or more are gathered, there I shall be. That biblical scripture is a resonance. Like when Melissa and I get together, we become more than we are alone. And
yeah,
so this is just an invitation and an invocation for us all to be in the divine center together. We are available. Our contact information is there. Like Melissa said, leave a comment on what you would like us to discuss next. And yeah, I think that's it. And just remain in your juiciness.
yeah, yeah.
And until next week, blessings, magnificent juiciness to you all, and just keep staying juicy. Aloha.
Aloha.